When in the course of financial events, it becomes necessary to secure our right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of rewards, there's only one name that rings out with freedom: Bank of America. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that not all cards are created equal, but some are just a bit more American. You know what I mean? Anyway, so hoist your flags and join us as we dive into the credit cards that defend our freedom to travel freely.
So in today's video, we are covering all 5 of the Bank of America cards in detail. I didn't think it warranted a 5-part series this time, since there's really not much to 3 cards out of the 5. Once we do that, we'll go over the application rules, the point systems, and then for everyone's favorite part of the videos, we'll do some card and wallet comparisons. Bank of America has 3 travel cards and 2 cash cards. We're going to start with the travel cards, and the first of which is the Premium Rewards Elite. It has a sign-up bonus of 75,000 points when you spend $5,000 in the first 90 days of opening your account. It has a $550 annual fee. You can get that down to an effective annual fee of $75, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. There are no foreign transaction fees. It does have access to a travel portal to redeem your points, but no access to transfer partners. For spending categories, you get 2x on anything travel related. You get 2x on dining and 1.5x on everything else. Now for the travel category, it does include anything transit as well, so it's a pretty wide travel category, and they get pretty explicit in their lists here. Airlines, hotels, motels, timeshares, trailer parks, motorhome and recreational vehicle rentals, campgrounds, car rental agencies, truck and trailer rentals, cruise lines, travel agencies, tour operators and real estate agents. Okay. Operators of passenger trains, buses, taxis, limousines, ferries, boat rentals, parking lots and garages, tolls and bridge fees, tourist attractions and exhibits like art galleries, amusement parks, carnivals, circuses, aquariums, zoos, and the like. I mean, that's huge. So it covers a lot. Like I mentioned, dining, and then 1.5x on everything else. As for standard benefits, you have the Global Entry or TSA PreCheck credit. This is the standard one that most of the major travel credit cards have. You get a $100 credit against these every 4 years, so it's worth about $25 a year. You have primary auto rental collision coverage. So this is where you go to the desk to rent your car and they ask you, do you want insurance? You can either buy their insurance or you can cover it using your own personal insurance. You don't have to do either of those. If you use this card to rent the car, it's automatically covered. Then we have a $300 airline incidental credit. So this is similar to the $200 Amex Platinum credit, where you can use it for incidentals. So like upgrades for your seats, baggage fees, airline lounge fees, and in-flight services, like Wi-Fi or meals or so on. I honestly hate these. Like, I wish they would all just do the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit, where it's just anything travel. They just credit you up to $300 across the year. There's no stipulations to that. You don't have to use it in the portal like with the Venture X, and you don't have to only use it on flight incidentals like this one and the Platinum. It's just anything travel. We'll cover it up to $300. Easy. So this one, I mean, you can, you're gonna have some baggage fees if you're flying, possibly. It's probably pretty easy to get it back on a seat upgrade. It sucks that you just can't purchase the flight with already having the upgraded seat, so you don't have to worry about doing that after the fact. Anyway, it's $300. It's a big chunk of your $550 annual fee that you're getting back using that. Hopefully most people can use the entire $300. And then we have the $150 lifestyle credit. This one is amazing. I mean, so anything video streaming services, food delivery, fitness subscriptions, ride sharing services, any of those code for those things, you get up to $150 credit. So that's actually great. I just wish the airline credit was the same. And then we have these tier benefits that we're gonna go over when we cover the point system. All the cards in today's video have these benefits. So we're gonna do that at the end and show you what that means. I actually added a new feature to the website to make this really cool and really clear when using these cards. So we'll skip down to the lounge access. This is actually really cool. You get the Priority Pass Select membership with unlimited access to airport lounges and experiences worldwide. You also get 3 extra authorized users along with that. And this is one of the few remaining Priority Passes that actually includes the restaurant credit. So you get $28 at a restaurant that's designated as a Priority Pass restaurant in whatever airport you're in. You get a 1.25x modifier on the points when you redeem those for booking airfare in the Bank of America travel portal. This confused the heck out of me. So how it works is it's similar to the Business Platinum Amex card, where they give you a discount, the 20% discount on the price of the ticket before you book it with points, if you're booking with points. And then that equals out to 1.25x. So it's the same as like the preferred cards from Chase, but they just do it like the Amex Business Platinum, where they're giving you a discount off the price, so you need less points when it equals out to 1.25x. I know, I don't know why they do it, it's whatever. And so what that means is essentially when you're using those points in the travel portal, they're gonna be 1.25x. So instead of getting 2x for travel, you're getting 2.5x. Same with dining, and then you'll be getting 1.88x on everything else. So long story short, 1.25x for booking with points in the travel portal on airfare with this card. For travel protections, it has quite a bit. So you got the baggage delay insurance, common carrier travel accident insurance. You have emergency evacuation, repatriation of remains coverage. Hopefully you never have to use that. Lost luggage reimbursement, trip cancellation, interruption insurance, and trip delay reimbursement. For the application rules, since they all have the same application rules, I'm gonna save that to its own section. So after we're done with the cards, we'll hit the application rules then. Next up is the Bank of America Premium Rewards card. It has a sign-up bonus of 60,000 points when you spend $4,000 in the first 90 days of opening your account. There's a $95 annual fee. Effectively, you can get that down to putting $30 back in your own pocket. We'll cover how you do that in a minute. There are no foreign transaction fees. You can redeem the points you earn in the travel portal. You do not have access to any kind of transfer partners. For the spending categories, they're exactly like the Elite. There's 2x on anything travel related, 2x on dining, and 1.5x on everything else. Of course, you can transfer those points over to the Elite card and multiply the 1.25 to that to get, 2.5 on airfare or any travel related stuff, 2.5 on dining, and 1.88 on everything else. Is there a reason? Because they have the exact same categories and you get more for the Elite than you do for the Premium Rewards? No, not really, unless your player 2 has the Elite and you have the Premium Rewards. For some reason, you're not an authorized user and you're earning points on that. You can actually transfer to their account and have them use those points. That's one possible reason. Or you've gotten the Elite and you've had the Premium Rewards for a while and you got a bunch of points in that account and you want to transfer those over before you redeem them, where you're getting the higher value. It's really the only reason I can think of, because otherwise, the earning categories are the same. Just don't use the Premium Rewards anymore. For the standard benefits, also just like the Elite, you get the $100 TSA pre-check and global entry credit. So that's like $25 a year essentially. Where it differs is instead of the $300 airline credit, you only get a $100 airline credit. But since the cost of ownership of the card is so low, it's only $95 instead of $550, then that $100 goes a long way and covers your entire annual fee plus an extra $5. And then if you're using the pre-check, you get 25 on that. That's where you get the 30. However, no lounge access on this card. So that's really the only big difference, is you're not getting lounge access, but way easier to recoup that annual fee. For the last of the 3 Bank of America travel cards is the travel rewards. It has a sign-up bonus of 25,000 points when you spend $1,000 in the first 90 days of opening your account. It has absolutely no annual fee. It also has no foreign transaction fees, and you can still redeem your points in the travel portal. And just like the other Bank of America cards, it does not have any transfer partner access. As for spending categories, pretty simple. You get 1.5x on all purchases. That's it. Unless you are using this in tandem with the Elite, then you can combine those points and you'll be getting 1.88. I don't know if that's a win, but maybe. For standard benefits, not much to speak of. We'll cover these tiers when we cover the point system. Okay, now on to the cash cards, and honestly, probably the most popular card in the Bank of America suite of credit cards, the customized cash rewards. It has a sign-up bonus of $200 when you spend $1,000 in the first 90 days of opening your account. There's no annual fee. There are foreign transaction fees though. You don't have the ability to use the points you earn in the travel portal, and of course, no transfer partner access. For spending categories, honestly, this is a weird one. We're gonna spend a little time breaking this down, but you get 3x on monthly categories, you get 2x on groceries, you get 2x on wholesale clubs, and 1x on everything else. All right, so let's start with the groceries and the wholesale clubs. So you get 2x on those. And since it is a Visa, you can use it at Costco too, so that's good. And then there's the monthly categories category. So you get 3% on a category of your choosing, and I'll give you the list here in a second. So it's 3%, but you can change it monthly, but the amount you can spend is capped out at $2,500, and it is capped off quarterly, but you can change the category monthly. So this puts it into those, if you've seen my other videos with cards like this puts it into that selectable category thing. So you can come over here to the selectable categories, scroll down to the Bank of America customized cash, and then you can choose the category. You can do this monthly or whatever, and choose the category that you're gonna use this card to spend on. And then what that does is it sort of lights up that category in the card across the website, so you can see how it compares to other cards in that category, or see if it's in the, the best card for a specific category that you're doing. So the list of categories are gas and EV charging stations, online shopping, including cable, internet, phone plans, streaming, and then there's dining, generic travel, which covers transit and everything else, and drugstores, pharmacies, home improvement and furnishings. Each one of those are a separate category, and then you can just check those here. So whatever you choose, honestly, I think the easiest one to utilize for 3%, that's hard to get more than 2x on, is online retail. So I've tended to do that in the past when I had the card. So let me update that selection, and then we'll come back over to the card. And then now you'll see that there's 3x on online retail, and it's noted that it's a selected monthly category there. So that way, when you come over to best card for online retail, then it's gonna show up here on the best card as a card that has an online retail category. And now for the last Bank of America card, we have the Unlimited Cash Rewards. It also has a sign-up bonus of $200 when you spend $1,000 in the first 90 days of opening your account. There is no annual fee, but it does also have transaction fees like the customized cash. It can't redeem points in the travel portal unless you have another travel card from Bank of America, and it can't transfer its points to partners. For spending categories, it just has 1.5x for all purchases, nothing else. And with all the other cash cards out there that have a 2x earning on their points, this card doesn't make any sense to anybody. Just get a 2x card like the Double Cash or the Active Cash, or even the Chase Unlimited, which is only 1.5x, because there's still more potential to move those over to other cards to make more money, whereas this one doesn't make sense to have this card, because if you're gonna move it over to get more value on your points through a travel card, they already get 1.5. All right, for application rules. Now, I'm gonna have to start prefacing this on anytime I talk about application rules. These aren't hard fast. Everyone has their own data points. There's an exception for every single rule. These are the ones I know for Bank of America. So I'm not aware of any 524 rule for Bank of America. Use my words carefully. There seems to be a Bank of America 312 where you may be declined if you've opened 3 new credit card accounts in the last 12 months if you are not a Bank of America customer. They value you being a customer to get their cards. There's a BA 712. You may be declined if you've opened 7 new credit card accounts in the last 12 months if you are a Bank of America customer. Then there's the Bank of America 234. You may be approved for 2 Bank of America credit cards in 2 months, 3 in 12 months, and 4 in 24 months. So again, these are rules I am aware of, and yes, you may have your own data points. I do want to know what your data points are, so don't think I'm like pissy about this. No, I like when you give me data points so that I can get the most accurate information on the website as possible. So if you have other data points, put them in the comments. We'll figure this out together and get the most accurate information we possibly can. Okay, so the Bank of America travel rewards. You get 1 cent per point on travel. You get 1 cent per point on cash. There's a caveat to that though. And then you can get 1 cent per point on gift cards. It just varies. It's going to depend on the gift card that you choose, but you can get up to 1 cent per point. So we're going to assume that you're going to make good choices and get a gift card that's going to get you 1 cent per point if you're going to use gift cards for redeeming. Now for the cash value of 1 cent per point, all the cards have 1 cent per point when you redeem for cash to like a bank account or statement credit, except for the stupid travel rewards card, which is 0.06. Now, if you come over here, we've made a note on there that this one, if you're redeeming for cash and it's through a statement credit or whatever, it's only going to be 0.6 cents per point. It's terrible. Don't do that. At least get a gift card. And we're going to assume that you're going to go gift card rather than statement credit when we're doing the calculations and stuff. So the other one's 1 cent per point pretty much across the board. You can transfer points to a spouse or even extended family and friends. I actually watched Mark Reese do this. As a matter of fact, if you haven't watched every single Mark Reese video, go watch all his videos first and then come watch mine because he's amazing. Now, regular subscribers to the channel that have watched a bunch of my videos are gonna immediately notice what is this big box underneath here for the Bank of America Preferred Rewards tier. Now, this is a new feature I've added because Bank of America is weird. They have this weird thing where if you hold an account with Bank of America and you have a certain amount of money in that account, they will increase the point earnings on all the cards. So if you're, don't have a bank account, everything that I just went over is accurate to the point earnings. So for the gold tier, you have to have a 20,000 to 50,000 account balance in some kind of a Bank of America account. So either a Merrill Lynch investment account or just a Bank of America savings or checking account. Then you get a 25% rewards bonus on all the point earnings of any of the cards that we just went over. And then for the platinum tier, you have to have 50,000 to 100,000 in one of those accounts that I mentioned. And then you get a 50% rewards bonus on all the cards that we went over for any of the point earnings. And then for the platinum honors tier or higher, because they have like other higher tiers, but it stops here in terms of the rewards bonus. For 100,000 or more, you get 75% reward bonus on all those earning points for all those cards. So by clicking on this, and I'll show you here in a second. So I'm gonna go down to none, and then we'll just go to the easiest card here, which just had that one. You get 1.5x, right? So if you go back over here and you change it to the gold tier, you're gonna get a 25% boost on that. So when we come back here to this card, now it's 1.9 instead of 1.5, right? So then if you change it to the platinum tier, and then you go back to that card, now it's 2.25 because you're getting a 50% boost on those. We'll go back again to the travel rewards, change it to the Platinum Honors tier. So if you have $100,000 or more, it's across 3 months as an average balance. Then you're getting a 75% boost on those points. So if we come down here, and then now you're seeing you're getting 2.65. Now, if you had the Elite on top of that and you transfer those points over, you're getting 3.31x on all purchases. Now, again, don't use this card. You could just use the Elite card for that. So I'll come over here to the Elite card. And like I said, all other, you're getting 3.31. And then for airfare, 4.38, car rentals, 4.3, all travel, you're getting 4.38, dining, you're getting 4.38x on all dining purchases. So if you happen to have a Bank of America account that has a substantial amount of money in it, then maybe it's worth it. Now, I don't think having a Bank of America account is a good deal. And I'll tell you why here in a minute. Unless it's like some Merrill Lynch retirement savings account kind of thing. Now, that's fine. It's probably going to be equal to any other investment account from any Schwab or whatever. However, if you have $100,000, for example, in your Bank of America savings account, you're throwing away money. And here's why. Come over here to Ally, go to checking and savings, and then we'll go to high yield, or just savings actually. You're gonna get 4% yield on your savings account for $100,000. You're gonna get probably around $300 a month. Just $300 every month, because you're going to get 4% interest on that $100,000. So don't have a Bank of America savings account, because you're literally going to get 0.01% instead of 4%, because they don't offer high yield savings account. You're going to earn way more money from an Ally high yield savings account. There's others. I think American Express has one, and SoFi, whatever, has one. There's a bunch of high yield savings accounts. Use those instead, because you're going to earn way more money for $100,000 than you would in a Bank of America savings account. Just to get those platinum tier bonus rewards on your credit card that don't really earn that much to begin with. I mean, you can get different credit cards and Ally, and you'd make way more money than you would setting all this up to get those tiered rewards in Bank of America. So I don't personally think they're worth it. I'm kind of spoiling my ending here, but we'll go through the card comparisons, and maybe I'm wrong. I haven't actually looked at those yet. So maybe when we compare to other cards, they'll come out on top. But I don't think it's worth it to get those tiered rewards if you don't have like a big investment, IRA or something with Merrill Lynch. If it's just a savings account in Bank of America, you're just throwing money away. Go to Ally, go to SoFi or whatever. All right, so we're gonna do some card comparisons like I mentioned. First, we're gonna come back over here, turn off the rewards tier. Let's come over to the card comparison section. So we'll do the Elite against the Reserve, my favorite travel card. And let's do the Venture X, how about that? 1 cent per point on the value for the Elite, and we got 1.85 for the Venture X and 2.05 for the Sapphire Reserve. And these are because, we have transfer partners turned on. So if I had transfer partners redemption preference turned off, these would both be 1 cent per point as well. Sign up bonus, you got 75,000 points over here, 75,000 for the Venture X, and then 60,000 points for the Reserve. For the annual fees, you got $550 for the Elite, $550 for the Reserve, and then roughly $400 for the Venture X. Super easy to get this back with the Venture X. You get into the 200, 250 range easily with the Reserve, but then you've got all these spending modifiers that help out with that. And then for the Elite, you get down to around $75 for that one. So really the annual fees, not something to worry about too much with the Elite, because easy to get down to. Now, when you compare category earnings, the Elite is just going to fall short of the rest of the cards, just because you're only getting 2 on travel. This one gets 3 on travel. This one gets 2x on everything. So it's not just travel, it's literally everything. And then if you're using transfer partners, because the value of those points due to the transfer partners are 1.85, everything's gonna be more than the 1.2 is over here. So it's never gonna win. It's always going to lose all the way to the end. And then for benefits, you do get the primary auto collision coverage that you get on the other two, and you do get this, which offsets the annual fee. So you don't really count that. You just count that as negating the annual fee. But you don't really get much else but the priority pass, which the others get, and you get travel protections, which are about the same as the other ones. The Reserve has the best. Venture X is pretty decent, has a little bit more on the elite side, but again, I mean, it's just, I'm not seeing a whole lot of reason to go Bank of America here. Now, let's change this to a different tier. So we'll come over here, hit the gold tier, and then come back to that comparison. So now we're on the gold tier. We had 20 to 50,000 in the bank, in a bank account. I mean, we're still not doing anything of merit there. So come over here, let's go to the platinum tier. So now we need 50,000 to 99,000, and come back to the comparison. And now, I mean, we're winning second in a few. You know, we're dining. It's a little bit better than the Venture X, but not anywhere close to the Reserve. Now, granted, these are transfer partners and not just using it in the travel portal, where the elite just doesn't have that ability, but still not doing that great, right? So we'll come back over to the tiers, and we'll go to the highest tier, and maybe we can make some headway now. So, nope. Not really. I mean, it's a little higher, but you're still not beating. You're basically just beating the Venture X by a little bit more, but you're still not coming close to the Reserve. You're just second everywhere. Yeah, second everywhere. Yep. So, but maybe you're not a big transfer partner person, right? You don't deal with it. It doesn't fit your lifestyle of being able to pay for an entire trip with points. All right, so we'll come over here, change our points redemption preference in our My Profile section to just travel portal redemption. So this is telling the system that we prefer to just use our points in the travel portal to book travel, and that's how we're going to maximize our points. It's not going to be cash. We're actually going to try to get more benefit out of the point value by redeeming in the travel portal, but we're not going to go as far as transferring those points over to some hotel chain or airline chain and trying to maximize that way. So now we'll come back to the comparison and see if we're doing it better. So, boom. All right, so we've got a win here in all other. We're at 3.31 versus 2x versus 1.5x, and still second for most of these. And yeah, I mean, we're not doing great. And still the Reserve is much better. All right, so let's go over to the wallet setups, and maybe we can build a wallet that makes sense for the Bank of America credit cards. So we'll definitely use the customized cash rewards card, and then of course you got to have the elite, otherwise none of it makes sense. Nothing really, because the elite covers all of the categories that all of the other cards cover except for the customized cash. So but that one premium rewards card has that extra $100 that, of course, you know, it's $95 annual fee, so you're only getting like $5 out of it. Who knows? So we'll try that, and then we'll put that against let's just do, you know, the staples of Amex and Chase. So there we go. So right off the bat, we're seeing that we're winning with Bank of America. This is great. Now, keep in mind that we have it on the premium tier. You're getting a 75% boost on all your points. So you have to have the $100,000 in your Bank of America accounts for this to be doing this well. Also, you have to keep in mind that we are on the travel portal redemptions preference. So if we were in transfer partners, completely different story, but let's just stick with travel portal and see where we are. So if we just kind of scroll down to see how we do against the other cards, how close it is, it's doing really well. I mean, obviously Amex in the travel portal, as we've talked about in many other videos, when you're doing travel portal redemption, Amex just doesn't do well. You really need that business platinum to do well in Amex at all. So as we scroll down, you know, it's it's kind of more Chase than Bank of America, but where it counts, Bank of America is really kicking in. So the online retail, if you've got some spending, I have 5,000 or 6,000 annual spending on online retail, so that's probably helping quite a bit. The fact that you can do wholesale clubs for 3.5x helps quite a bit. So there's that. The benefits, we should come down and make sure there's no, so there is a duplicate benefit from the two cards covering the same exact thing again. So if we come back up, you'll see, so without that benefit, now Chase is doing better. It's still good, still in the ballpark, much better than American Express, but without that duplicate benefit that you're probably not going to use unless you have a player two, which is that's a thing. Let's look at the year one calculation, see how we do there. It's probably going to be Amex first. Nope, still not great for Amex on the year one, even with this. So you've got Bank of America, year one is better. You're getting those two bonuses on the Bank of America side, 75,000 and 60,000. So that's very helpful on year one for Bank of America, where you're only getting one of those, and then $200, and then Amex. You are getting good, but the points just aren't valued as much as you would get on these two over here because of the travel portal redemptions. So now let's change this to be transfer partners and see what kind of story we got now. So yeah, I mean, it's getting eviscerated by the other two cards in terms of if you're using transfer partners for Chase and or American Express, way better. It's not even in the same ballpark. $1,000 difference. And then it's just not doing as well as we look down. And it may behoove you to have the custom cash. So for example, if we went custom cash on these two, customized cash, sorry. So 4596 versus 44. So it does pretty well when you just add it to another setup. So this is 3961, 386. So I mean, you're getting benefit out of the customized cash, and and I think that's what we see in the market, is that the customized cash is a very common card to have. The other Bank of America cards, not really, unless you have a lot of money in Bank of America already, and you're able to utilize those tiers to get it in the same ballpark as some of these other setups. And then you're also someone that just isn't gonna be using transfer partners for whatever reason. Then you're somewhat doing better sometimes, and just depending on your spending, and at the very least comparable to the other setups. Now, if you don't have those tiers, so if we come over to the tiers and take those down to virtually nothing, it's way out of the league of the other setups. I mean, even if we went back to travel portal redemptions, I don't think we're going to see much of a difference. And I mean, it's close to Amex, but again, Amex isn't good doing travel portal redemptions either. And the Chase just totally kills it. Let me see. And add like maybe the Capital One Duo still does better. And the City Trifecta still does better. So, I mean, you're really, and this is sort of a silly redundant card. I mean, it gives you a few extra tens of dollars and just more hassle, because then you got to figure out how to use that credit every time. It's probably more hassle than it's worth. Okay, so final thoughts on this is that if you have a lot of investments in Bank of America, then it may be worth it. It's certainly not worth it, I think, to have the customized and the elite and have that in your wallet. One thing I have heard, I was with Bank of America for like 20 years or 25 years or something stupid. It was actually I was actually with Nations Bank first, and then Bank of America bought Nations Bank, and then I just been with them ever since. So I actually been with them longer, if you count Nations Bank, since college. The customer service is great. It really is. It's top notch. So I don't have any credit cards that I have problems with customer service yet, but I always hear stuff about other credit card companies, whereas Bank of America, they're like top notch. The problem is their stupid savings account is 0.01 interest. And I was just kicking myself when I figured that out. I'm like, oh my God, my savings, I just thought all savings accounts suck like that. But no, I just never did the research. And then when I started getting into the credit card game, I saw, actually, I'll give Daniel Braun some credit. I saw his video about the high yield savings account. And I go, what in the hell is that? I didn't even know that thing existed. So I immediately moved all my money over to Ally. The other reason I used Ally is because my wife and I have a trust. So we were able to open up a trust very easily. Of course, you can do that with Bank of America too, but honestly, you had to book an appointment to go into a branch to do it. And this was right after COVID, and it was like 6 months to get in. It was ridiculous. It was stupid. And I'm like, why can't I do this online? I did it online with Ally, just instantly, no problem. And it was awesome. It was easy peasy. And I have been loving my high yield interest ever since. So if you take those caveats in consideration, the cards can be good for you. Man, I just see better ways of managing your money and better ecosystems for your credit cards. I know that lovers of Bank of America credit cards are real passionate about Bank of America, and that's totally fine. And I may be missing something. If I am, put that down in the comments. Maybe there's some aspect of Bank of America credit cards that I just overlooked. But regardless, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Make sure you hit like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you in the next one.